So yes guys, welcome back to the channel. Movement 6 here, and I just needed to make this video. I needed to make this video. I've been watching a lot of YouTube content in the past week, and oh my freaking god. And we all need to we all need to calm down, you know? Calm your tits, peeps. Just calm your tits. I get it. I get it. If you're being paid by Activision, then the hype is real, right? The hype is real. You've been flown in. People want to see your opinion because you have been flown in, and there is no other reason for you to be hyped. You need to be hyped. You're being paid by Activision, right? But what actually we as a consumer, what have we seen? We've seen a 3-minute blockbuster Michael Bay action-packed, oh my god, it's a new engine trailer, and now we should be hyped because we've got a Modern Warfare stamp on it, and we see some kind of an iconic guy with a cigar in his mouth, whom also happened to have a complete new voice actor. But okay, that's a different topic, right? But let's just go into some details again, because I've made a video that I'm not hyped at all. I'm not. I want the franchise to succeed. I want this game to succeed, right? And the reason is quite simple. I'm a Call of Duty fan. I was always a Call of Duty fan, and every time and every year I'm getting more and more disappointed with what Activision and all the other publishers or content creators are doing with this. They're giving us an unpolished, unfinished game. They constantly tear us a new asshole with all this monetization scheme. They constantly show that they don't give a rat's ass about the community, but only want your money. They only want your money. That has been proven, right? Infinite Warfare, shit game. World War II, shit game. They're unfinished. Leaderboards, missing. Monetization, loot box, drop boxes. That's the only thing we see in Call of Duty in the last maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 years. Everything after the Modern Warfare franchise is... It's turning into a more big pile of shit than it already was. And now we've seen an action-packed trailer, right? Ooh, great. And everybody's hyped, and especially those channels they're being paid by Activision. They're pushing that hype again, and it's the same thing as we've seen last year and the year before that and the year before that. So, but I want it to succeed, right? But it's a franchise that's also not really known anymore for its innovation. Is the use of specialists now all of a sudden innovation? Is that innovation? It's just a free kill streak, you know? Here you go. You can't earn kill streak, here you go. You specialist. You don't have to do anything. If you just stand in a corner doing nothing, eventually your meter will fill up and you've got that specialist type of thing that earns you just a free kill streak, right? That's not innovation. You know what innovation is? Rainbow Six. That is innovation. That's a shooter. You've got specialists that actually make sense in a game. In Call of Duty, those specialist guys can just operate on their own. There's no need for them to cooperate with each other. There is a reason you need to communicate in Rainbow Six. There is also that destructional level that you can make peek holes or line of sights. You know, that is a real innovative game, and is highly supported by a fantastic studio that is committed to work with the community as a whole. And what you see is that you will get a studio that also supports invitationals or esports type of games. Call of Duty is not anywhere near that anymore, and Call of Duty needs to realize that it needs to go back to what it has always been: a fun, somewhat competitive, but above all a fun arcade type shooter that is fast-paced, in and out. People have a lot of fun with it, and then they can earn a shitload of money with that. They're not an esport type of game, full stop. No, Call of Duty is not. It's not. It's just run and gun. That's what it's always been. And they need to stop to an extent also with the 3-lane whole type of maps policy, right? Okay, but fine. So I've seen a lot of backlash over this whole Modern Warfare name. So the name Modern Warfare, right? Stop bitching about that if you think that that's a bad idea. Oh, Modern Warfare. Yeah, so what? So what? There are games in recent history that have proven that it can work, right? Mortal Kombat is one. And what was that tiny little game that come out? Oh, God of War, you know. So there are games that can make this work. There are criteria. You need to take it in a new direction. You need to reboot it. Literally reboot it. If you're gonna do the same thing over and over again, you will see some gameplay here of Modern Warfare 1. You know, it's out. So you don't need to do the same thing, right? Don't slap that name and then do exactly the same thing, right? That's not what God of War did as well. They did a fantastic, phenomenal job of actually rebooting the game and take it in a whole new direction, right? So, okay, but on the other side of the spectrum, the name Modern Warfare doesn't necessarily mean that we are going to have a good name. Oh my god, Modern Warfare is back. No! Fuck it. Can I say that on YouTube? You know what? Modern Warfare, it's a name, right? If Modern Warfare would mean that if you slap that name on a box, I got tons of games in my closet that maybe if that will work, then slap the name on it. Maybe it turns out to be a good game, right? It's not. It's not a reason for to be hyped. That Modern Warfare. I think it's at first a reason to be concerned, right? Because what Activision has done in the last few years, in the last installments with Call of Duty, that would mean that they are going to screw up the name Modern Warfare. So I'm concerned rather than hyped for the name. You know, Modern Warfare has that feeling with me that, oh my god, Modern Warfare. You know, I had such huge amount of fun times with friends online in Modern Warfare 1, especially Modern Warfare 2, to an extent also 3, but to me Modern Warfare 2 is the best in the series. Modern Warfare 1 was groundbreaking with those kill streaks, but again 2 took that to a new level and it was extremely fun. Based on experience, Activision is going to screw up the name Modern Warfare. So yeah. And now, I also need to be hyped about the fact that they're using a new engine. It's about freaking time they're going to start using a new engine. I think the engine they've always used was developed in 1845. And well, I think even during the American Revolution they used this engine for just for fun in games. So it's about freaking time that they're going to use a new engine. And now we should all be hyped. A new engine doesn't necessarily mean you got a good game. As said in my previous game, we might as well end up with the same monkey but in a fantastic new suit. And you buy the monkey and you get a fantastic new suit. The most beautiful games can have shitty gameplay and vice versa. I know games that look shitty now but have a strong gameplay. I still play Resident Evil 1 and 2. Not the reboot but the original one, right? If you take that graphics, you laugh your asses off, but the gameplay is still freaking good. And that's what we want to see. We want to see gameplay. And then we can have a solid discussion whether this game is actually worth the hype or not. Okay? So, the experience of the franchise is not really good in the past few years. And now we also have people say, oh my god, Soap is back. This guy's called Soap, right? Yeah. The guy with the cigar. Apart from the fact that, as I already stated in my previous video, that's a bit strange that during an act of war in the middle of the darkness, some kind of a specialist doesn't understand that you don't create a light source in pitch black. But okay, fine, you know, it's maybe a type of Michael Bay type of style. It doesn't necessarily reflect realism. But Soap is back. Gents, ladies. This guy is composed of 1 0 0 0 1 1 zeros and 1 1 and more zeros and ones. It's not an actor. It's not a human being of flesh and blood that can take a bad movie to a higher level. I've seen movies that are typically not really good, but there are a few actors that make it quite interesting because of their acting. Soap is not a real guy. It's a guy that has been created by other people. And again, Activision has proven to ruin franchises. So they can also ruin not only the name Modern Warfare, but also your idea of this guy. You know, it's great that he's back, and I was also hyped when I heard that, hey boy, from God of War. Wow. Kratos, he looks awesome. But I needed to see gameplay first before I was hyped. And on that, based on that, we also need to understand what the monetization scheme is, guys. What are we gonna do? Yeah, they're promising us the world. They should, because people are genuinely getting fed up with Call of Duty. And even the player base now in Black Ops 4 is also, as far as I know, it's going down to I don't even play it anymore. You know, I went on it yesterday because of the new event. It's shit again. It's over monetized. You know, they're trying to squeeze out the last drop of dollars out of every corner, and you're the target. That's the whole game. It's breathing that. You know, so. And then on top of that, we've got the whole crossplay thing. We all should be freaking hyped about crossplay. Jesus Christ. Come on, guys. I've got experience with how crossplay could work. In that sense that if you're playing the higher ranks in Rainbow Six, you're pushing the upper golds and you're pushing against plat, then eventually you will encounter people who are using mouse and keyboard on a PlayStation 4 on an Xbox One. And I can tell you one thing, they're gonna tear you a new hole if they're gonna let you play against PC players. These guys are massively quick. They're quicker than you in a controller, and they're quicker even when you're using a pro controller. So also, what I've now seen is that the rumors is that the whole connection between crossplay between the Xbox One and PS4 is not even that easy to do. It's easier to let people from PlayStation 4 play against PC players and Xbox One against PC players. So let's see some details first on how this is going to work. Because if we're in the same lobby with PC players, chances are vast that that's going to ruin the community as well, because there's no fun in playing against mouse and keyboard. It's not. It's not. And I strongly advise you to search for the YouTube channel from GetFlanked. He is a fantastic channel on Rainbow Six Siege, and he's got a few topics there about mouse and keyboard, and that exactly hits the nail on the hat with that so-called hammer. You know, go and check that out. That's exactly what it is. It's cheating if you're using mouse and keyboard on a console. It's cheating. Full stop. But it's not cheating if we're being put in a lobby with PC players, because they are allowed to use a mouse and a keyboard by nature. So I'm not that hype. I've seen a new engine. It looks massive. Great. It looks absolutely fantastic. I want to see gameplay. I want to understand what the monetization scheme is. And guys, let's all be a bit worried that they're not going to screw up the Modern Warfare name, and let's all be very extremely worried that they're not going to screw up this character from that we're also hyped about, that he is back. He's not back. He's been created by ones and zeros. So let's take a pause for the cause and calm our tits, and let's first watch what it's going to be. Based on the experience, Activision is going to ruin. That's the experience. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I hope these guys know what they're doing, that they've got a new direction, and that they're exactly going to do what we expect them to do. Is deliver a strong, full, finished game for 65 euros, and on top of that provide the community with some form of monetization that is fair and square, with some skins, and I don't give a rat's ass, maybe the same type of monetization Rainbow Six had, because from my perspective that's the way you do monetization. We can all disagree or agree on that skin costs too much, but in essence there is no reason, well, in essence the monetization in Rainbow Six is not pay to win at all. Everything is available for everyone to buy for free with in-game currency, not real life money. So you can, obviously, and I'm spending real life money because I have the option, not being forced to do it. So I'm really keen on what we're going to see. Maybe E3, I do hope E3 next week, I think it's next week that it starts, will reveal some gameplay. And then we've finally got some really touch points to talk about. Currently, it's all speculation, and based on the experience, it's not going to be good. That's my experience with Activision. That's my experience with the franchise. Hope I'm wrong, and I'm really keen on seeing what it is. Now, guys, calm your tits. This is just plain and simple what it is. What I'm going to do, I've explained already a few times. I'm going to do a new movement sessions, but I'm going to do a hybrid set. So Ableton Live, Machine, Tractor, and I'm currently working on all those samples I'm going to use. So it's going to be hybrid, a bit of live and a bit of existing tracks. Yes, you will have in the coming days an update on Rainbow Six Siege. I've been a bit too, well, I need to upload a bit more on that front. So, but hey, it's a starting channel, and I'm gonna do a personal update for all you guys, right? So the reason is that I want to explain more about why I started this channel, the pitfalls I've seen, the do's, the don'ts, the tips, the tricks, and how to develop yourself in video editing and sound. I think I've stepped in all the traps, but I'm really appreciate all your support, guys. I really do. Subscribe, like, hit that comments, do everything you need to do to stay up to date to this channel. Guys, this was Movement 6. I'm out.